So I am now home from the East Anglia Yarn Festival. It is currently Wednesday. I had hoped to record on Tuesday, but things just didn't happen like that. I did take little Froggo with me to the East Anglia Yarn Festival. He acquired some fans and some badges as well, and I bumped into another podcaster who gave him a little chicken, and that is Zoe's Story. So do go and check her out. What I will do, I have a whole list of podcasters on the back of my postcard, so I will link them all down below for you if you want to go and have a look. Someone mentioned there were 16 of us, so it was a really lovely turnout for the podcaster meetup. We all got chatting. Now the show is held over the 15th and 16th of March this year. We drove down on the Friday. I went via Galashiels to pick up my friend P, and then we made it to the Premier Inn, which is opposite the showground, at around 6:15 on the Friday night. We got ourselves all changed, had a little bit of a rest before we went off to the Big Stitch Night, which is a charity event where everyone gets a mini skein and a raffle ticket on entry that comes as part of your ticket, but you can buy more raffle tickets and you can buy leftover mini skeins as well that come with another raffle ticket. And it is the first opportunity to buy the new merch. So that is what I did. I bought the new tote bag with this year's logo on it. I also bought the bucket bag, again with the coloured version of the logo, and I bought 4 skeins of folk yarn. Now if you want to see what I bought over the weekend, I'm going to put that in a separate video because I've just been going through it and there is a lot. So if that is not your bag, that's absolutely fine. Do sit down and enjoy this little show, a little reel of the show, so you can get an idea of what vendors were there and sort of get an idea of the atmosphere as well. It's a really lovely fun show because everyone is so supportive. The aisles are quite wide, which means you can get lots of people down them, which means you can actually get to vendors as well. There are 4 or 5 food vendors, so there's something to eat for everybody. Loads of seating, loads of tables, and it's just a really lovely weekend. And we had brilliant weather as well. It was really sunny all weekend. Not that I went outside during the day because I was in the venue. It is held at Norfolk Showground Arena, and it is already booked for next year as well. So, in addition to that, there is a make-along every year. This year's make-along, there's always a crochet pattern and a knitting pattern. I like to do the crochet pattern. This is the Magnus cardigan, which was this year's crochet make-along. And if you join in and wear it in some form or another, you receive, or you can pick up, a ribbon from one of the tables which says that you took part in the make-along for that year. These are sponsored by Gem of the Little Grey Girl. Yeah. So let's have a look at the show. Good morning. It is Friday, and that means it is time for East Anglia Yarn Festival. It's quite chilly here, it's 2 degrees. It is just almost 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to set off to go and pick up P from Galashiels, and then we are heading down to Norwich. It's going to be a long drive, but I will have company for most of it, so that's okay. Yeah, so the show is Saturday and Sunday, but Friday night is the Big Stitch Night, which is for charity. So we have tickets for all 3, and yeah, I'm gonna get to meet up with lots of my friends and just have a really nice weekend away. So the car is full of fuel. I'm just waiting for my windscreen to defog, and then we will be on our way. So we've arrived. We got here about 6:15. We did stop off. So I met up with P. We went and got breakfast at McDonald's because She lives next door to a McDonald's. And then our first stop was Wetherby, and that's the only stop we did, because it was about 3.5 hours to Wetherby, and then about 3 hours and 45 minutes from there to here. So I was just like, let's just do it. Yeah, so we got here about 6:15. I've just got changed for the big stitch night tonight. I'm gonna have to give my hair a quick brush. I got about 45 minutes down the road when I first set out and realised I'd left my rainbow cardigan at home. So I don't actually have a cardigan to wear this weekend. So I need to get all the ends woven in on my Magnus cardigan so I can wear that, because the only other like jumper I have is the big Scotland one that I wore this morning. So yeah, which is nice and warm, but I don't necessarily need that all day for the next 2 days. So P's just gone to the car to try and find my scissors so she can cut off some ends for her dress that she's going to wear, and I am going to sit and weave in a few of my ends. It is now 7:15 and the event starts at 7:30, and I think we're going to leave about 7ish so that we can go and order some food because we're both hungry. So yeah, that's been today's journey. We have passed through lots of rain, lots of sunshine. We had snow when we crossed the border from Scotland to England, and we had a couple of drops of hail as well. Oh, and there was a massive rainbow, and it was a full rainbow, and it was so vibrant. And then a double one started to appear just behind it, but my phone was almost dead and I was using P's as sat-nav, so we don't have any photos. But yeah, it was really, really pretty. And then yeah, so we're here, we're going to go to the stitch night, have a good time, and then tomorrow the show begins. this is day 2 of EAYF, and I need to get the last of these ends in. Last night I did the sleeves, so they're all done, but now I need to do the armholes so I can actually wear it today, because there are a lot of ends on this. So yeah, we've got breakfast booked for 9:30. It is currently 8:15, and we have both been awake since about 7:30ish, just chatting in bed and scrolling through social media. So Froggo has had a nap as well in his little shorts, so he's been having a very good time this weekend. And yeah, I'm gonna sit and weave in these ends. We've just boiled the kettle so we can have some tea, and then we'll get ourselves ready for the day, go for breakfast, and then head over to the show for day 2. So I will see you all later. So I hope you enjoyed that little glance around the show, getting to know some of the vendors, some of the things that were available there, and the types of stalls that were there as well, because it's not just yarn. There are a whole host of different things that you can get your hands on. So thank you so very much for taking the time to sit and watch with me and enjoy a little bit of the show. I have a few goodies that I'm hoping to put together as a little giveaway, just as a sort of remembrance from the show and for anyone who wasn't able to make it. So I will see you all later. If you want to see what I bought, do head over to that video. I will link it above for you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.